Fellow Emerald Hunters, what a year it has been ever since in VR chat. And last night was a very, very special day. But as you guys can see on the board, Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters is back. And it's in trailer production. But if you guys are new, you probably not heard of the series before. And it's because we've been working on the trailer. And finally, after months of waiting, Volts the Hedgehog himself announced it last night in our open lobby. Allow me to explain what happened in the timeline, because it will help you guys make sense of what has happened since December 2021 and give you a sense of what's coming up in the very near future, because I have some announcements about this. First off, let's talk about with the timeline. In late 2021, Bolts and I, knowing that I'm still new to VR chat at the time, of course, Bolts and I started discussing in PMs about the idea of doing a series in VR chat. And that series just became Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters. However, at that time, it was just me and him, two-person crew. That's it. There was no Davon. There was no Spooky Twig. There was no Dion. I mean, in terms of like the series. So there was just us two working 12 to 15 characters like that. Both of us. Even Steven's Lemon Squeezy, right? Well, then the calendar turned to 2022 and the early part of 2022 particularly. So we started thinking about, you know what? Yeah, that is not going to work. Two-person crew now. So we started recruiting. And some of the recruiting was actually during our open lobbies. In particular, early 2022. In the time period of January to March, we started recruiting our crew. You know, we started talking with Davon, Deku, Unsaid Warrior, Spooky Twig, Dion, or who used to be called User, by the way. Um, Rapid Dash, Christian. If those names ring a bell, it's because they've been in our open lobbies. And speaking of VR chat open lobbies, tomorrow I'm playing as Amy Rose. Anyway, moving on. That was early 2022. March hits. We were supposed to actually start the trailer, or at least start the production of the trailer. And we actually did. We started in the world that used to be our own home world. Not anymore. I'll explain that in a moment. And then we were supposed to get started. We actually had lines ready to go. Unfortunately, then, we had some issues with a few things. Obviously, some of them were breaks, so I'm not going to count that because we do need a break from time to time. I even took a break from VR chat too. But that was not one of the issues brought up. One of them is something happened with our former home world that I don't want to get into too much. But it happened, and because of that, we cannot use that world anymore. So one of the things is we had to change it up. So remember, for the last few months here, starting I believe in May, we started using a brand new home world called Sonic Apatos. And if you guys do not know where that is actually from Sonic Underground, the game. So we started using this new home world for our VR chat open lobbies. And last night, this is going to get into last night. But I wanted to talk about this part very particularly. Because of what happened, not only the trailer had to be delayed, but the lines had to be reworked, and the scenes had to be reworked as well. Then last night, oh yes, the biggest surprise I think of the year. If something if if this announcement is not the biggest surprise of the year, I don't know what is. If meeting TV artist Cedar Peace last year was the best moment of 2021, last night is the best thing to happen in 2022. Okay, let me tell you this. Last night, usually, I say usually, Bolts the Hedgehog makes announcements. Of course he does. What's new? It's what happened. It's what he said that makes that makes us very happy. Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters. Sonic and Shadow Emerald. Yeah, Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters is back on the board, and that's just a little bit he said. Back on the board in production. Trailer is ready to go. We're finally ready to go. That's what he said. Or at least I'm paraphrasing here because that was last night. You know what that means? That means the thing on the top of my head is true now. Sonic Shadow Emerald Hunters has entered trailer production. If you've been with us for a long time, or like the last year, you know what this is already. But I just want to reintroduce it to you. This series was originally a two-man group. It has become a multi cross-play, cross-friendship group here. A lot of friendships, a lot of memories, a lot of connection. And that's why I tell you always to make connections, because you never ever know what's going to happen. If I didn't meet TVR Cedar Peace, who knows what would have happened in that one day? What would have happened if I never met Dion? Then we wouldn't have a series. What happens when we don't meet Spooky Twig? Then we would never known that she was a very good Amy or a good Tails. What if we never met Deku? Then we wouldn't have a Shadow. What about Davon? Then we wouldn't have a Mighty. We wouldn't have a Mighty. That is why I tell you guys, make connections. Seriously. And now I get to announce a few things about the series. First off, as we mentioned last night, it's back in trailer production. Also last night, we actually did a live rehearsal. I surprise, right? A live rehearsal of the trailer of Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters happened last night. It was during the last hour, guys. It was during the last hour, so make sure you guys check that out. We started talking about the scenes live on air, talking about what we're gonna do, the lines, everything. You know, in my heart, I'm excited. And guess what? It just happens that was the right character. You know why? Because I'm playing as Roots the Bat, and I was actually Roots the Bat yesterday. That just made it even more. That made it even more special. I was Roots the Bat yesterday for the VR chat. I just happened to be Roots the Bat in the series. So here's what's going to happen in the next few days. In the next few days, I'm going to be redoing the cast and crew video. You may have noticed that a few characters on the board behind me are missing. That's either because they are not in the series or because they cannot be in the series. You may have noticed that Francis the Hedgehog and Francis the Human are off the board. That is because they are not even here yet. Especially the Hedgehog is not even here yet. So they are off the board. The human version is on the board, but Volts and I are still in discussion about both of them. I really think they are off the board because Francis the Hedgehog is not here. But still, we have a cast and crew that's very talented, and I am so happy to give you the announcement of the cast and crew right now. But I'm gonna be redoing the cast and crew video with the music, of course, and with the animations, of course, with the dances and all that good stuff. That's what I usually do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm as a RetroYuuki, I am announcing the cast and crew of Emerald Hunters right now. Ladies and gentlemen, our first Emerald Hunter, besides myself, is somebody you guys know on these open lobbies. Ladies and gentlemen, Roach the Hedgehog, also known as JDB Gaming, will be doing the roles of Sonic and Dr. Eggman. He's a very good Dr. Eggman. Second Emerald Hunter is somebody you guys also know. She does a very good Amy and a very good Tails. Interestingly, Spooky Twig is the one doing Amy and Tails for this series. So Spooky Twig has a roles as Amy and Tails. Our third Emerald Hunter is somebody you guys know. He is a Neko, or a cat, a battle form, an awesome person in our VR chat and our streams. Dion is Dion, the World Defender. Our fourth Emerald Hunter is somebody you guys know. He and Spooky Twig are best friends. Ladies and gentlemen, playing as Mighty the Armadillo, Davon. Our next Emerald Hunter, our fourth Emerald Hunter, is somebody you guys also know. He is going to be our Shadow and our Infinite Jackal. Ladies and gentlemen, Deku. Our next Emerald Hunter is somebody who 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 actually is interested in this and is one of the support Emerald Hunters. He plays as a few characters on our VR chat open lobbies. But for Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters, he will be playing as the adorable Cream the Rabbit, Christian YT. And finally, last but not least, in terms of our other Emerald Hunters, he is the Wolf Boy, also known as the Wolf Boy. But he is not playing as the Wolf Boy or the Gamer Wolf. He is playing as a very mysterious character who we will not reveal yet. Ladies and gentlemen, playing as this mysterious character, Rapidash. And of course, last but not least, I gotta introduce myself like I always do. It is the one playing Rouge the Bat, and it is I, RetroYuuki. One of our Emerald Hunters that always says, "Do work, live life, create funny, scary content." That is me, along with Mr. Work. Anyway, that is your cast and crew of Emerald Hunters. Knuckles, I forgot Knuckles. Knuckles is gonna be controlled by Bounce the Hedgehog as well. That's your cast and crew, everybody. I hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's go. That's the only things I have to say. I'm excited. We're happy. We're all happy. Let's get it on. As far as the next few days, I'm going to be releasing the cast and crew video with the music and all that good stuff. I'm also going to be releasing a scene from the trailer from the rehearsal this week. I cannot tell you what it is because I'm going to see it first. if it's worth a scene. I'm gonna title it and all that good stuff. And then the trailer drops quickly, very soon. It could be this week, it could be next week, or it could be in 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters trailer. I hope you guys are waiting patiently because I've been waiting patiently and the time has come. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters is back, y'all. And it's time to do this for real. Ladies and gentlemen, that is RetroYuuki saying Chaos Control for the first time in 2 years. No, I'm kidding. That is RetroYuuki saying Chaos Control, and we're saying see you very soon for Sonic and Shadow Emerald Hunters, and it begins, y'all.